Welcome everybody to the Australian NASCAR eSeries race here at Darlington. For the X Series, I'm Bruce Meddings in the booth once again, and I'm joined by Nigel Cedric. Nigel, how are you?
I'm going great. This is going to be a cracking race. Love Darlington, and I love just to see who's game enough to take too wide going into turn one.
Absolutely, it's going to be a fun night of racing. Friday night's Truck Series race just went by here. We had a new, what's it? No, two-time race winner in Ryan Jones. Is it Ryan Jones? Yes, it was Ryan Jones winning here at Darlington after a very close battle at the end of the race between him and Matt Danson. So very good to see. Very good racing the entire night. We only had, I think, a couple of cautions, and they all just kind of kicked off just at the end of the race. So we did get a good green flag pit stop, and we're looking to get the same here tonight.
I think we will. It's going to be an absolute cracking race. There's a lot of drivers that have been practicing all week. There's a lot of officials going live, so we're in for a great race.
Absolutely, going to be a very fun night here. Of course, we had the Australian NASCAR E-Series just wrap up the first round of the Australian NASCAR Championship qualifying series. That happened on Sunday night. Now, there's 3 splits done over the course of the night, and quite a few drivers made some good headway in terms of starting their qualifying off strong.
100%. And we head off to Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time, so everyone will be starting to work on their sets and practice runs. And yeah, and we also must thank Motorsport Australia for coming on board for that series. I'm hoping the one in 2 weeks' time at Las Vegas, I'll have that broadcasted for everyone too.
Absolutely. A smaller field here tonight, around 33 cars will take tonight's grid, as we're already in and qualifying is underway, has been for a little bit now. Got a couple of drivers still driving around the track. We're waiting for the Trading Paints to get his ass into gear and get us all these nice, lovely liveries. Stevie Williams not normally a big fan of lime green. He runs the white and black Simbriggs DPR car, so we'll wait for that one to kick its hind tail out of slow mode and get its ass into gear.
Mike Gremlin. Yes, there is a race on tonight. We're finally live.
Certainly should be finally live over on Facebook too. It's been a little bit of a long time coming for the guys over on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, feel free to give us a shout. We'll do our best to keep in touch with everyone who's in the chat. That's Nigel's job here tonight. He'll be the one telling me who's giving us some stuff, who's commenting and who's got things to say. We encourage that here. Hopefully we can get to them in a timely manner as well. But at the moment, Shane Van Gisbergen on pole with a 30.05, followed by Stephen Williams on screen with a 30.08. So very close qualifying between the top two. Nick Bottrell on the 225 machine comes home in 3rd place. A lot of raw speed there for Nick Bottrell. Brad Newman in the 40s, 4th at the moment. Oh, jumps up to 5th as I was saying that. So he beats Bottrell by 1,000th of a second. So
just letting everyone know that we are not live on Facebook. I'm not sure what's happened.
We're not live on Facebook anymore.
We are not live on Facebook anymore.
Okay. Well, we'll sort that one out later, and we'll be live on Facebook on Friday night. Unfortunately,
100%.
I'll just pull it off. Put off trying to send something to something that's not going. Then, alrighty. Well, that's unfortunate. We thought we got that one working, but
we got Shane Van Gisbergen in 1st place, coming off a 7th place. I reckon it was on Sunday morning for us in the Xfinity race, and topped it off in the Cup race too. I think he finished 27th off the top of my head, 26, 27.
busy weekend there for for Shane as well. So not only doing it in real life, but also here doing it virtually. So he'll take pole here tonight. We'll see if he can convert that to a race win here. Should be a one-stop race here tonight. Nigel, been told that it's about a 60 lap run without fuel saving, and if you can easily go over that 70 mark with just a bit of fuel saving, we should see drivers elect to go for that one-stop strategy. So should be a good race, and if we go green, then that's going to be a treat. I know.
I think so. I think so. Like, sorry guys, I'm just choking on my food. um, it's going to be interesting because you only got 2 sets of tires too, so you would want to make that set of tires last until probably lap 70, and then hopefully then have that set of tires if there is that late green white checker. But usually a lot of Darlington races go green because a lot of crashes then head straight to the inside.
Yeah, there's a lot of room on the inside of the track. We did see it. I think we saw a little bit of it last week where we had a crash down the back straight, and the driver managed to spin perpendicular to the track just down on the very bottom, and it wasn't called. So anything very that's down low just doesn't get picked up, and we're still waiting on Trading Paints to do and get us our livery sorted. This is a very annoying occurrence. I don't know why it's not deciding to do that, but hopefully it'll kick up soon enough and be ready by the time we go to grid. Now, we shouldn't have too much longer in this session. Tom Pritchard, Matt Bailey, and Matt Patton, they should be the last ones to actually qualify here tonight. Matthew Butt and Matt Danson electing not to qualify, or not to set a time. So we'll have to see. Matt Danson telling me he was going to maybe shoot some information over after his practice laps. Didn't receive any. So, got a bit, kind of feeling a bit betrayed. But no, he's just said he was going to give us some insight on what the car was doing, which I appreciate wholeheartedly. Any information given to us by the drivers, especially how they're feeling on track, is always a benefit. It gives us a better insight as to what they're feeling, and it gives us a better chance to express that to you, the viewer, on the other end. So, Tom Pritchard, he'll round out his second or third lap of qualifying here. Should be able to jump up. P17 is the go so far. Now he's going to slow down. I believe that's his qualifying done and dusted. Now,
we've got the fans coming in on YouTube as well. We've got Troy Mortensen, Let's Go Southern Stars, and Matty Raymond, Khan SRM. So the fans are starting to roll into the broadcast here tonight. So if you want to cheer on your favourite driver, feel free to do it in the chat, and we'll give them a shout out during the broadcast.
That we will. We move into warm up. So we'll be getting qualifying underway. Now we can just jump straight into reading grid because there's less than 40 cars here tonight. So that means our new qualifying system doesn't apply. Everyone here does make the show, and they will be out there racing as a group. Now bringing the results forward. Qualifying results. So Shane Van Gisbergen for Lobs Esports, he'll take out pole position, followed by Stephen Williams for DPR Racing. Brad Newmans takes third position, also a member of Lobs Esports. Nick Bottrell in the number 225 machine for Everything Simulated Racing. He'll come home in fourth position. Good speed there from Nick Bottrell. We'll see if he can hold that pace throughout the race. Alex Stelbovics in the 28 machine. He'll be running in fifth position. Jen Russell in sixth, looking to pick up another win here in the Xfinity Series. Adam Malone in the number 3 in 7th position. Dave Douglas in the number 10 for A1 Sim Sports. He'll come home and finish qualifying in P8. Wayne Burke, he's picked up a win in the Truck Series already for Synergy Sim Racing. Can he make magic happen on an oval? We'll have to watch out. Wayne Burke in P9. Riley Curtis is not the 093 in P10. Lockie Akuji, reigning series champion. He'll find himself in P11 tonight. Andy Barber, the man who just comes out of nowhere. He's in 12th. We'll see if he can make it up to the front again. Looked very strong in the truck race and looks like he was almost in it for a win. So we'll see if he can get the win here tonight for Southern Stars Esports. Shane Bowen for Cobalt Racing. He's in 13th. Manny Tolentino in the 46 machine. That's another Lobs Esports car. One of the only Americans who comes and races with us. So we thank Manny for being up early in the morning to come race. Jason Holdsworth in the 11 car. He's in 15th. Does like Darlington. Has mentioned it's one of his better tracks. So he'll be looking to make his way up the order. Tom Frey in the 707. Another Synergy Sim Racing car out there tonight. Had a good showing last Xfinity race at Chicago. Oh, I think it was actually at... I'm not going to comment. I think we may have missed a Tuesday, but I know round 7 he had a good showing. Tom Pritchard for Southern Stars Esports in the 91. He'll come home, finish qualifying in P17. Kobe Williams, a driver we unfortunately missed in the ANC qualifying series, hoping to make his return for the second round. He'll be in the number 994 car tonight, coming out of qualifying in P18. Ben Henniker in the 213, he's 19th for Cobalt Racing. Matt Bailey in the 117, he's 20th tonight. 23rd belongs to Paul R. Drady in the number 29. Michael Campbell in the 619, he's in 22nd. Ricky Hyde is 23rd. Dean Powell in the 999 for Black Hawk Motorsport. He'll come home in 24th position. He'll start the race from 24th position, sorry. Aaron Gilbert in the 203 Team Jinx Shifters. He'll be the first of the Jinx Shifters cars here tonight in 25th. Matt Patton in 26th. Henry King for Jinx Shifters as well. He'll be in the 52, and he'll be starting from 27th. Marty Mitchell in 28th. Brian Blundell in the 86 for Blundell Sim Racing. He's going to be starting in 29th position. Scott Griffiths in 30th. Ruben Phelps in 34th. That's out of position for Ruben. He'll be looking to make his way through the field. Tim Blundell, the second of the Blundell brothers, he'll be in 32nd tonight. Matt Danson did not qualify, so he'll be starting 33rd. And Matthew Butt, another race favourite here tonight. He'll be starting at 34th, right at the back of the field for Asarum Australia. Now, Nigel, it's going to be a great race here tonight. Looking forward to seeing what these drivers can do and how much they can push these machines to the edge here at Darlington. We do know there's an infamous Darlington strike. You'll pick that up on the outside of turn 1 if you venture too close to the wall, and arguably if you don't pick that up by the end of the race, then you haven't been pushing the car hard enough.
100%. And also too, it's like a cat and mouse game going down the front straightaway. Who's gonna blink first? Who's gonna say, look, I'm gonna take the safe option, I'm gonna let you go first, but then you don't want to be the one that loses track position too, because track position here is very important. And usually turns 3 and 4 are where all the good passes are made, and usually in the middle of 2 is when things can either go south very quick.
Yeah, that they can. Now, hopefully we can get good racing. I know there was a lot of moves made down the inside. I know Jason Holmesworth was a fan trying to get the move done on the inside. You are able to keep the momentum in the high line around the outside. Still unsure as to why Trading Paints is doing what it's doing. Very annoying. We'll try and get that sorted again. I apologise for the technical difficulties here. But no, Nigel, we should be in for a cracking night of racing. And everyone in the chat, if you're supporting a team, feel free to drop us a message. Let us know who you support. We'll try and get them on stream here tonight as we move into the gridding phase. And we're getting ready to throw this race into overdrive and get this green flag thrown. Well, get the green flag thrown and throw this into overdrive.
BM Joshua, Upper Numo and Shane. So we've got some Lobs Esports supporters in the house tonight. Look, Brad Newman, I reckon that might be Josh's tip for tonight. Brad Newman. Let's see how Brad goes. He's been really strong in the series so far, and Shane's even picked up a win himself. So let's see if he can bring that form from the real life NASCAR into the sim. It would be great to see.
I don't think it's a question. I know Shane's a very good driver in real life, and he's a very good sim racer as well. So I think they kind of go hand in hand at this point. I don't think the skills are much of a question. He might want to try and pick up his second win here in the series. That would definitely be a good result for him tonight, converting the pole position. I don't think we've seen many people actually convert pole to a race victory here in the Australian NASCAR eSeries. It's actually been quite good regarding the spread.
I don't think we have, no.
Yeah, so we just wait for all the drivers to grid up. Still waiting on our pole sitter just to, I believe, be the last one. Actually, no, the pace car is rolling, so Shane's missed the bus. He'll be starting from pit lane here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on that. But at the moment, it will be Brad Newman rolling up to the start of the inside line. Everyone in the inside line is going to inherit a position forward, just because that's how it works. If we don't swap people's positions around between the outside and inside lanes here, we just move the inside lane up one. Pretty simple, pretty easy way to get around all the headache of moving cars inside and out. Solves the problem quite nicely, if I don't say so myself.
So if Shane's starting from pit road, this is going to be an incredible drive through the field. We'll have to keep an eye on that as it goes, as the green flag drops. Who's your tip tonight, right, Bryce?
My tip tonight, I'm going to put a bit of a tip in Stevie Williams' jar here tonight. I believe it's time for him to pick up a race win in the Xfinity Series. I know he's been close, if not already got one before. So I'm looking forward to seeing him back on the top step of victory lane. If I had to pick a number 2, it'd probably be Andy Barber. It's probably about time he picks up a win. Of course, the first season champion for the X Series. Now we're waiting. The green flag is out. We're racing here at Darlington. Now it's Brad Newman and Stephen Williams on the charge down to turn 1. Ripping in. Brad Newman on that inside line, just able to take the advantage and get out in front of Stephen Williams. Drive that car a little bit harder. Shane Van Gisbergen's already a lap down by the looks of things, at least on my timing screen. So we'll just have to watch that, but you can see him pulling out there. So there's already been a big crash on the back straight, and that's going to be a yellow flag. If we timing screen was there to be shown, that's going to be the first caution tonight. We'll have a look. Paul Ardrady involved. So we're going to have a quick replay and look at Paul Ardrady. That's the 46 car there of Manny Tolentino around, actually. So Manny Tolentino involved. And it looks like Paul Ardrady was an unfortunate byproduct. I believe the real incident here comes from Jason Holdsworth in the number 11 car. He's going there. He's gone to the outside, come down a little bit. Manny Tolentino just loose on the bottom. Comes up the track a little bit, gets hooked up into the fence. Not much Holdsworth can do. And it's all kicked off from there. Jason just coming to a complete stop, letting everyone go by. Just make sure you don't cause a further incident and maybe sneak down the pit lane just to get that damage repaired. So an unlucky start there for Jason Holdsworth. And Manny Tolentino as well. Just a very innocent sort of mistake there. Very lap 1 kind of mistake. All drivers racing hard, trying to make up positions whilst the tyres are all fresh. Just did not go the right way this time, and it will result in the first caution of the night.
That has really thrown things in the works now. There's the we go around again. There's who's going to go down pit road, take that last little bit of fuel to see, can go a little extra few laps into the run. Means that the stop at the end of the race might be a little shorter.
Yeah, well, just try and get a better understanding of what's happening at the moment. So we're on lap 4, I believe. Timing Tower's having a bit of a panic attack. It doesn't know if we're on lap 5 or on lap 4 at this point. And it's trying to figure out who's there. It also says people are a lap behind Ricky Hyde. Now, that's not the case. So, Timing Tower is certifiably on the skits. It's having a very tough time catching up here. So, don't trust it. It's Brad Newman in the lead over Stephen Williams, Nick Bottrell, Jaden Russell, Alex Debelix, Adam Malone. That is Wayne Burke in the number 89 ahead of Dave Douglas. Lockie Acujo is P9 and Riley Curtis is P10. What's Ricky Hyde? It says he's in the pit lane, and that he is. Apparently he's ahead of everyone by a minute. So something's going on there. But we'll see what's happening. Maybe we just give it a bit of love and maybe a bit of a refresh and bring it back, and hopefully we'll be able to see the right information when we ask for it. So there it is. Still not updated. Okay. Well, as that sorts itself out, it's been a bit of a night for technical difficulties here, hasn't it, Nigel? The pace car lights should be out, so we should be going racing this time by. Brad Newman will have the lead as the timing tower still is buggered, so we're going to have to give up on that one for this restart. Don't trust it. It's not what's actually happening. Brad Newman coming in line, have control on that Geico restart zone. You see it on the right of screen. He's in the zone. He's gone around the middle of the zone. He's got a good jump there. Stephen Williams with a good reaction as well. He's able to keep with Brad Newman on the charge down to turn 1. But Brad Newman, he'll get out in front. Alex Stebel, it's Nick Bottrell, sorry, is made his way up into P3. And there's another big crash happening in turn 1. So that's going to bring the second caution out tonight. Now, it's all a bit feisty here tonight. little bit going on. The timing tower has luckily fixed itself. That's the one good thing I can say about that restart. But the other things, maybe just a bit of overzealous, a little bit of blowing. No, yeah, just sending a little bit of send a little bit too soon, potentially. But it's great racing when they get side by side, and it's so tricky to pass on the outside here that I'm not surprised there is the chance for contact after all. Now we'll go try and get a replay of that.
I think there's only 3 weeks till the start of the playoffs. Everyone's getting a bit. I want that win.
Everyone's getting a bit. Yeah, everyone's getting a bit anxious for spots. Apparently, according to my timing tower, the whole field ended up crashing at some point. Don't believe that's what happened at all. So it's telling me Porkies. Not too sure why. I believe it's going to be Shane Bowen in trouble here. So Shane Bowen in the 38 comes down. Ooh, there's a little bit of a tag there from Andy onto, I believe that was the number 5. We'll get that one again in the slow motion here. So that's Shane Bowen. 093 just gets a little bump, gets a bit out of shape, and then it's all kicked off from there as the car bounces back down in front of the rest of them, and it basically creates a traffic jam from here on out. Everyone else react and try and get down to the inside, get to where the space is. Few cars lucky to avoid all the commotion, but Andy Barber and the 093, I believe that is Riley Curtis, involved in that incident, and they're both with heavy damage.
Well, we're going to be lucky. We're going to have Matty Raymond come and join us in the booth tonight. He's not racing tonight. He only can race every fortnight, so he's going to come and join us in the booth for the night to make us 3 in here, which is always good to have Matty come jump in.
Oh, absolutely. It's always nice to have a third in the box. It means less talking for me. It means it's a bit more spread out, and it's also nice just to have a third person to bounce things off. But at the moment, Brad Newman, he'll remain in the lead of this race. About 10 laps nearly. Oh, I say about... yeah, probably about 6 laps under caution so far tonight, and probably going to be about 9 by the end of this pace car. So
we've got some big comments coming out in the on the YouTube chat. We've got another Go SRM from Mandy P. Now I reckon that's Mandy Phelps. I reckon that is off the top of my head. I see her. She comments on some of the stuff on Facebook. So good evening, Mandy. We've got Mike Gremlin. Go Andy. We've got another Andy supporter. We've got another Southern Star supporter. Troy Mortison. I thought today it was Monday. Don't mind this track in this car. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Troy. Check your phone. Matty Raymond, where's my ice cream? Oh, Matty, I'll give you some ice cream when you get to the boot. Matty Ray, yellow already? Yes. We have a yellow. Facts. I'm going to have some facts later. And Nick Burling, great coverage, guys. Thank you, Nick. And the Burling Motor Group up on the Gold Coast. If you need to sell your car or buy a car, give Nick a call. Give him a burl. That's his slogan. So, good evening, Nick, and welcome to the coverage.
Yeah, welcome to everyone who comments. We all enjoy putting this on so that you can enjoy watching this great racing that drivers put on here in the Australian NASCAR eSeries. Now, second caution of the night, 10 laps in. Hopefully this is the last of what's in store for us for now. I'd like to get some green flag racing under our belts, and I'm sure the drivers would too. I know that as a driver it can get quite frustrating being under the pace car for an extended period of time, especially at tracks where the pace laps are so long and there is a lot of opportunity to just burn the clock down, because we do have 140 laps to run, but we also have a time limit here in the races just to ensure that they don't exceed too much of our evening's time. So I think there's only been a couple of times we've been close to going over, and the race has actually nearly ended under a time condition instead of a lap condition. So
and the reason we do have the 2-hour time limit as we go green is for the because it's a school night, and everyone's got to get up and go to school or work the next day. As the green flag's in the air.
And the green flag's in the air. We've got Brad Newman getting another good jump. Stephen Williams with a good follow-up. Just behind them, Bottrell and Jaden Russell are going at it now. Or Alex Stebol's deciding, I think, to pit. Oh no, he just lost a few positions in the last restart. Sorry. He just lost a few. But it looks like everyone's managed to negotiate turn 1 and 2. I see Shane Bowen's car. I believe that... that's not Shane Bowen's car. I don't know what's happening Trading Paints tonight, just being an absolute, to lack of a better word, turd, and not wanting to do anything for us tonight. So I apologise to all the drivers who are watching this back, looking to see their beautiful liveries. And I know some of the drivers have Rockin' Tribute liveries out there as well. I don't know if he's here tonight. I don't think he is. But Tyler J. Williams has a throwback livery for a team his dad used to manage in the States. So when we next see Tyler J. Williams, I do have some slides to bring up of the actual car. We'll go through a bit of a story there, but I know a lot of drivers put a lot of time and effort into the paint schemes, and I know some drivers' teams have sponsors that are on their cars. Now, I would love to get those sponsors the airtime they deserve. But at the moment, we'll just try and figure that one out for Friday night's broadcast.
And I'm looking through the YouTube chat here, and Mike, that would have to be Andy's old man, I reckon. So if that is, I hope you enjoyed the little tribute last Friday night. Andy was proud as punch to put that together for you and put it for you. So if that's you, Mike, I hope you enjoyed it. And welcome to the coverage.
Absolutely. Lap 13 now of 140. We finally got a couple of green flag laps under our belt, and we're watching all these cars get single filed out. They're all in a line, just trying to figure out the best way to make their moves happen tonight. It's getting a bit spread out as well, so had a feeling one might see this. I know there's a certain 97 car in that pack somewhere trying to make his way through. He's currently doing 22nd, so we'll be keeping an eye on Shane as he makes his way through the field, electing to start from the pit lane tonight instead of converting a pole position. So maybe he heard what was on the broadcast. Maybe he heard that no one's ever done it and said, you know what, I want to do it from the back. I want to start from the back, and I want to make my way through and then get to the front. So we're going to go from a first to last to first challenge here, maybe.
And we welcome the man that owes... Oh, no, he's gone again. I was going to welcome the man that I have to buy ice cream for, Matty Raymond, but he's left the building.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I ain't going to see him.
He'll be back in a minute.
Absolutely will be. Now,
Newman's got that clean air. It makes all the difference.
Oh, absolutely. Clean air. Brad's got a lot of it. Stephen Williams not too much behind. Does clear up when he goes into the corners a little bit. So he manages just to get out, but he's going to drift up the track.
And Mike, it is Mike. It was it was fantastic to see. Great Father's Day surprise. Well, keep watching, Mike, because Andy is just known to come out of nowhere and get either top 10s or top 5s. So keep your eye on the broadcast, because the Southern Stars red number 5, our first season champion of the eSeries, will come through the field.
Absolutely. Coming down in 26, so he's got his work cut out for him tonight and carrying damage, so we won't loft him up too much tonight because he has got a bit of a task after being an unfortunate casualty in the second caution of the night. So I won't put the top 5 on there, but I do expect him to rebound, maybe finish in the top 15 here tonight. Now, 18 laps down, we have 122 remaining. It's going to be a long night here in the box for both Nigel and myself. Truck race was, I believe, 118 laps?
Ew.
Closer to that, closer to the 120 mark. So we're going to go 20 laps longer here tonight. Now, there's been a breakaway of the, I'd like to say that's the top 6 to 7 cars here tonight. So they're looking to put a good gap on the rest of the field. Yes, it should be the top 7. Lucky Cujo in that last car, still waiting. I can see Trading Paints is somewhat doing something. Now, why it's not just pulling from...
Now, I've got an interesting fact about Darlington. The Darlington race fan is known as the Lady in Black due to the dark colour of the track surface. Darlington was founded in 1835 and named after the English city of Darlington. The town played a pivotal role in the American Civil War and was the location of several significant battles in the Civil War. That's Darlington.
That is a very interesting fact. Something I didn't know. I'm sure something the viewers of the stream also didn't know. It's always fun. But you said it's black surface. It's dark surface. And I don't know if what I'm seeing is just the video game representation. And in real life it may be a lot darker, but that looks like light blue concrete to me.
Maybe it's the lines. Maybe they're trying to look at the lines on the
Maybe it does have some very obvious seam lines in the road, so that might be it. But I'd call it a running track because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a running track.
It does, but I wouldn't want to run on those high banks.
No, I'd be staying definitely down lower. I think running perpendicular to the ground isn't productive for remaining uninjured. There's Brad Newman, he's skipped off to about an 8/10 of a second lead. Russell and Williams though behind there, they're both trying to make this work and trying to get back within that 9/10 that Brad Newman's pulled away. So they'll be managing. They'll
like 4 lots of two, haven't we? Well, we've got Brad Newman out in front, and we've got Stevie Dubb and Jaden Russell, and then you've got like Burke and Bottrell, and then but just behind then you've got Malone and Lockie, which are like in their two little battles there, which is there.
So they are Stephen Williams up into the wall. He's going to get passed by Jaden Russell. Jaden Russell for Synergy Sim Racing. He'll be making his way through. He'll be hunting down Brad Newman now. So Stephen Williams, he'll just have to recover, make sure to settle back in. Tapping the wall's not the end of the world here at Darlington. You can still continue on. It's not going to hurt you all too much. Car looks fine as well from our point of view. So Stevie, if you're watching or you've got mates watching, let them pass that on to you. Your car looks fine in its very neon green glory tonight. It's gonna be a bit interesting. I'm so used to some of these drivers' liveries now that I can just call them off by heart. Then now I've been thrown for a loop. Now I have to figure it all out once more. So.
Well, Jaden Russell, he's part of the Synergy Sim Racing team, and they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary this year. They're mostly represented in supercars, but they have a very big team in the dirt oval scene and also in the NASCAR scene. They have 4 drivers: Wayne Burke, Brenton Hobson, Jaden Russell, Tom Freer, Scott Griffins, and Matty Mascord. Sorry, there's a few more than a couple of them. I think there's 1, 2, 3. There's 6 of them all up. So yeah, celebrating their 10-year anniversary on iRacing, and I think they've even got a special livery on their cars as well once we get it all working. So
yes, I'll have to tell them, make sure to keep it on for next week as well.
Yeah.
Looking at training paints now, there may be some progress. We may be getting progress. No, it's going between... It just keeps going. 5%, 6%, 5%, 6%. Now we're going to have to figure itself out. I don't know
we had a comment from Josh, who's supporting the Lobs Esports guys. He said, hit Control R.
Yeah, I've hit Control R. Unfortunately, it's actually a Trading Paints issue. Yeah, I have tried the Control R before the race, so before we actually went live here tonight. Hasn't worked. I'm currently now trying to re-download all the paints. So a little bit of time and we'll figure that one out. But
And
so
here's
far?
Matty Ray.
So good. Matty Raymond, welcome to the broadcast booth. How you
Gentlemen,
doing this fine evening?
Yeah, not too bad. I just knocked off work. I just missed the race by the time I got home. Oh, well.
Well, you can join us crazy cats in the booth.
Yeah, I'll enjoy the aircon for once and sit up in the booth with you boys.
Yeah, pretty much. It's good.
Ice cream?
What was that? Go again, sir?
I said, have you got ice cream?
No, I haven't got any ice cream. Thanks for asking, Nigel.
That's a true.
I got a glass of red next to me though, so that's suffice for now. But, yeah, no, still in my work gear and everything. So raced home and wanted to see how my boys were doing.
I think they're going alright.
I know Matty Budd didn't elect to qualify tonight.
Yeah. That sounds like him. Maybe he got the wall or something.
Hasn't ended too badly for him. He's up into 13th position at the moment. The biggest mover of the night, in fact. So up 21 positions from where he started. So it's been a good night so far for Matthew Budd. Again, he'd be one of my picks for a race win here tonight. I just wanted to see him qualify, but unfortunately we didn't get to see his laps. So potentially caught the wall, potentially made a slight error in his lap. You may be right. You may not have invalidated a choice, but...
yeah, we were lucky up in the top 5 too. He's looking alright, eh?
Absolutely, you got a fair few drivers. I know Ruben Phelps, he's also on the move, looking to make his way forward. He started in 31st position. He's in 11th at the moment, so your boys are making their way up the field. It's always good to see. I know they put in a lot of practice, and it's good to see the reward coming from all that practice as well. But Brad Newman's just out to a commanding lead as well here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Who's that? Jaden Russell second, Stevie Dubs third. Yeah, they're all pokey cars.
We're going to try this again. See if some of the cars have come back. Now we're going to have no numbers. So it's all going to be interesting for the next 20 or so seconds. As iRacing decides to start refreshing, I think we've got it. I think we have life. I think those are custom liveries that I see. That's a Synergy Sim Racing livery right there. So we got the liveries back, guys. Making the most of it here. So that's on board Stephen Williams. You see Wayne Burke's livery there, so the 89's got one. Still waiting a few. Just a few as iRacing screams to catch up. Brad Newman's livery is in tonight. He's rocking the Taco Bell on that number 40. On that number 40 car. Would say the same is for Shane Van Gisbergen as well. Both Bob's cars generally run the same scheme. There it is, the Taco Bell on the 97. So he'll be running that one. We've got a few more trickling in as we finally get the liveries back, understanding it only took a reinstall of all the files and maybe about half of my hair, but we're finally going as we jump back on board with Stephen Williams. He's got Lockie Acugio down the inside. So they're going too wide through turns 3 and 4 and into turns 1 and 2. So Lockie Acugio is going to make the move. Wayne Burke's going to capitalise as well as Stevie goes again into the wall. So not the night there for Stevie Williams. He's just under pressure. Now Nick Bottrell's managed to hang on for about 35 laps. I know it's been one of the things I've seen Nick Bottrell struggle with is maintaining his tyres. But tonight he's turned a new leaf. He's opened a new page and he's got that tyre management down to a bit more of a science. Maybe he can continue holding on for the next 40 laps. Well, 40 odd laps to come. There's no one pitted, apart from I think Jason Holdsworth, who's currently the first of the lap cars. He pitted, obviously to repair damage, so I think he'll have topped off fuel as well. And he may just be waiting for another caution later on. So Jason Holdsworth, he's hanging out for a caution. Same with Ricky Hyde, Kobe Williams and Brian Blundell. They're all lapped down. So they may be able to get their lap back if one were to come in. Anyone further back may be caught off guard.
Now we've had some comments in the YouTube from Shane Edgar. Can we get some in-car footage of SVG and or other battles that happen in the field with some in-car cameras? We can do that for you, Shane. That shouldn't be a problem.
Be able to wangle that, mate.
Well, we should be able to. We'll just try and find a battle that's going on that's very close in track. I think we got one between starting to brew sort of Matt Danson, Dave Douglas way. Now they're going to be close together, so we're going to get on board with Matt Danson. And we're going to We're actually going to watch and observe, and none of us are going to talk for this next lap. And I'm going to break my own rule here. I'm going to talk. Matt Danton here gets an absolute mega drive. You can just see how much more control that LTC Sports car is going through turns 1 and 2 as he lunges down the inside of Dave Douglas, and that's going to be a move attempted. Not going to be quite made just yet. Needs to get the drive out on the exit. There he goes. He's got it. He's got the move done. So that's Matt Danton up another position. He's up 26 positions from where he started tonight. So he takes the lead as the most positions gained of any driver out in the field tonight. Dave Douglas offering a good defense, but it just wasn't enough to stop Matt Danton. Now he's under attack from Adam Malone, so he might be able to get some in-car camera from Adam there. But we've got Matthew Budd as well. He's making a move on Ruben Phelps, so a bit of SRM on SRM action here tonight. Ruben's not going to fight it all too much. Maybe Budd has a bit more pace, or is able to get a little bit more out of that car. But Shane Van Gisbergen's in behind, and he's going to challenge these guys for 10th position.
Those two are both Kiwis too. They'd be extra nervous.
Oh, that's Ruben in the wall, and Shane's just going to make his way through. Easy as you like. Bit of a struggle there, as Manny Ray just pointed out. So Shane able to make it through. Just made it through, mind you. That was quite close on the old camera there. So we'll see if we can get the gyro camera as well.
I think Ruben's
go roll bar. That's it.
Yeah, there's your gyro, bro.
I reckon Ruben's felt the pressure for himself boost there, Matty.
Maybe, yeah. I cursed him straight away, didn't I? I said they get nervous as soon as the camera's on him and he's plugged in the fence.
You see how close they get to that outside wall. That's where the Darlington stripes picked up. So Ruben's got one definitely tonight. SRM panels, are they going to be up for sale after this, man? Because I might have to pick them up and put them on my wall.
Yeah.
Just for that good old stripe.
Guillotine just rolled up to the shop, so we
Ooh, Dave Douglas is sliding down the track. He's just managed to hold it. Sorry.
Tends really loose.
There goes his rear bumper, and he's around to the inside. There goes Adam Malone. Don't know where Adam's gone. I think he's just... Yep, that's not the right car. I think he's dropped. Dave Douglas went around. That's not going to be a caution tonight. So Darlington's massive...
I was just going to say, he looks like he's starting to get a bit free. He's getting a bit, you could see him sideways through the corners.
Absolutely. We'll try and get a replay there of Dave Douglas and Adam Malone. Here it is. Here's it from the off-board camera. So this is Adam Malone on the exit. So Dave Douglas had a moment, just gets a bit too close behind and just glues to the bumper going down. Dave Douglas sent for a pirouette. Just tags the inside barriers, slow speed, so it shouldn't damage the car all too much. Manages to get it rolling again, makes sure not to get on the racing surface before he stops, and ends up just driving away. So not ideal for Dave Douglas there, but it manages to avoid a yellow and manages to keep his car rolling. So, ooh, a couple of cars there probably could have given him a bit more. Yeah, 38 of Shane Bowen, I believe. Could have probably given him a bit more space. Could have been a bit nicer, but Shane Bowen's like, nope, you're off the track. You rejoin after I'm going by. I'm getting my lap back here, boy. You get out of the way. So that's 44 laps down. Now, about 95. Oh, about 85. Oh, no. 95 to go. Good math was good the first time around.
And another thing to notice tonight too, this X-Series race is the highest strength of field that we've had for the past two seasons, 2024 anyway. It's 2784, which is it's the highest we've had since our first season last year, which is just shows you the pace that these guys can drive.
Because I'm not there dragging it down, not dragging down the average.
You and I both, Matty. You and I both. No, it's a great field. I know it's probably it's definitely the highest outside of the Australian NASCAR qualifying series. That had a 4077 split. So that was a SOF for the top split race, which is very, very high level racing. It was very good to hear about the racing. Unfortunately, I was out that night, so I wasn't able to partake in the festivities myself. But I know there was a bunch of guys in the Discord watching and observing all of the races as they went on. I think you were around, Nigel, hanging around in the admin channel, just watching the races. And
I had all three races going at once, and it was absolutely fantastic to see. 3 races all finished within 2 laps of each other, so they were all close all night. And the 4,000 split, there was a 2,800, I think, off the top of my head, and there was the lowest split too, which I can't think what it is off the top of my head.
It's about 1,500, 1,600, yep. For strength of field, we had a 1,700 strength of field, I believe, is the next highest. So it was a 27 or something. It was something like that. Both very good top splits, lots of points. Now, points are awarded in a very interesting way. Now, if anyone here is watching and wants to know about the point system, I'll be doing a Q&A session on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. If anyone's interested in how the points are calculated and scored, I'll go through it with you guys as we want to be open and transparent about how things work. And if anyone has any questions, then I can definitely help you all with the math there. But that said, we've got a race to continue commentating. 90 laps to go.
Locking into the wall, just touches the wall on the coming at us.
Just a little love tap as he's got Dave Douglas, who's bounced back. Well, I'd say he's bounced back, but he's actually down a lap now. So poor Dave Douglas is a lap down, damaged car. Not going to be too happy about that. And I think Adam as well, he's out of the race here tonight with his internet service provider probably being a bit iffy. So he's out of the race here this evening. Brad Newman's off to a dominating lead at the moment. He's out 2.5 seconds from Jaden Russell. Now, Brad Newman, if you can make this last until, well, we should definitely be able to make this last until lap 70. We should be able to see Brad Newman come down the pit lane to take his one and only stop of the night in 20 laps time, so not too bad. There's, I think, Shane Bowen there, he's going a second lap down now. Oh, that's not Shane Bowen, that's Ben Henniker, sorry. And the 213 car, he's going for his first lap down. Andy Barber the next on the chopping block to be lapped by Brad Newman, who's running at an outstanding pace here tonight. Now, if Matthew Budd gets one more position, then he equals Matt Danson on the amount of positions gained tonight. But at the moment, it's Danson, Shane Van Gisbergen hunting down Matt Danson, two of the very best drivers here in the series. We'll get on board, get on the gyro, Shane Van Gisbergen, Matt Danson down to the inside. He's going to swap out. He's going to hold the bottom. We're going to jump back outboard. No, it's not Matt Danson. Where's Shane go? No, it's Matthew. Where?
Yeah,
okay. I was discombobulated by what just happened there. It was all a bit too much for my brain to fathom, and I just completely missed out what happened. Shane Van Gisbergen was right on the back of Matt Danson, now is a second or so behind. I have no idea what happened, I'll be honest. Well, we'll see this battle recommence just shortly. They shouldn't take too long to find their way back to one another. So that happens, that'll be good. I think it may have been Dave Douglas actually getting out of the way, potentially, that I saw instead of Matt Danson's car. But
yeah, Dave
Douglas. Tom Freer's making a move. We'll get into his cockpit and see what's happening as he tries to make a move around the 28 machine. Good aero blocking from Alex Delix, just puts Tom Freer up into the wall. Nothing he can do. Car gets a bit too understeery there. Now it's getting oversteery on exit. So Tom Freer getting shown the door there by Alex Stelbovics. I'm so sorry, Alex, if I butcher your name constantly. It's just a tongue twister for me. Now he's you see the exit speed that Free has. He's able just to carry a lot more out of turns 3 and 4, but he's not able to find a way past. So we'll have to see how this battle plays out. Alex just diving into the inside. Oh, there's another tag. That's damage to the front end now as Dave Douglas, I believe, makes his way back past Tom Freer. So Tom Freer not having a good time through turns 1 and 2.
Nah, he bent it pretty good there, didn't he?
So then that was the 119, or the 093, I believe. Oh no, it's 117. No, it's not 117. Matt Bailey. Never mind. I think it was a 093 of Riley Curtis that it was, making his way back through as the lead lap car. Now, Matt Bailey's another driver we haven't mentioned all too much tonight. He's currently on the tail of Aaron Gilbert, so that's not one of our closest battles on track. Just 0.2 of a second between them.
He was my tip tonight. Matt Bailey. I thought he might come away with a win tonight. He was my tip.
Well, he's not far out of it. A caution bunches them back up, and Matt Bailey's back in this race. So, at the moment, he's running on good pace. He's just outside of the top 10, currently sitting in 13th position. Should be able to make his way through. Now, Matt Danson has been passed by Shane Van Gisbergen, so him and Matthew Budd are once again tied for the most amount of positions gained in this race. So, all be down to who gets in front of who as we just jump over to Matthew Budd. And maybe I'm talking a bit too soon, but I think he just tapped the wall.
Yeah, it looks like he got it a bit there. Everyone would be struggling pretty bad on tyres by now.
Absolutely. You probably only got about 12 laps more that you have to take him out. So just be gentle to them, be nice, be kind. Just ease them out of their misery and just put them over the wall of the garage and say, good job. You did what you had to do. And you got me to this lap. Thank you. Now give me some fresh rubber so I can go hunt this guy down. That's all you have to do if you're Matthew Budd at the moment. He's got a good 2-second gap to Nick Bottrell behind, who I think is struggling even worse on the tyres. With a very bright red roll cage there. I don't know how drivers manage to race with the bright roll cages anymore. It's definitely a distraction, but I find myself in the Xfinity car.
We got some comments coming through on YouTube. Shane Bowen, he's got his feet up. I hope you're eating ice cream. If your engine's dead at lap 5, I hope you're eating ice cream. Sam Smith, nice request for the in cars, which was great. No dramas, we can keep doing them. We've kept sending the requests through. If you want to see any driver, your favourite driver, a bit of the in car, feel free. We can certainly show some laps. Shane Edgar, hopefully I'll get to race with you guys one day. Just got my sim set up finally. He's a C.2.2 oval license at the moment. You could actually run the entries are shut this at the moment for the X Series and the Truck Series on Friday nights. But if you can get your license up to A2.0, you can still enter the qualifying series with Motorsport Australia.
Absolutely. They entries shut each week for that, don't they, as well? Or is it open just for the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, the 27th of September, I think entries close all up, but every week that you do leave it, makes it that little bit hard to make that top 30.
Yeah, definitely. I would want to be racing next week, or the next week, so not this weekend, but Sunday a week from now. You definitely want to be there racing, because you only get one drop round, don't you, Nigel?
100%, one drop round, and if you don't show up and there's a no-show, you get suspended for a week as well. So that really throws everything out. One bad race and one no-show, and your qualifying series is pretty much done.
Absolutely. It's also the best time to get in, because once you're in, and if you manage to make it to the big show and you manage to finish in the top, I believe, 25 in points and get a win, the top 15 drivers in that series, they're going to get locked in for next year, also for 2026's edition of the Australian NASCAR Championships. And then there's only 15 spots to qualify into for everyone else. So that's going to be a big thing. So it's going to be a lot harder to get in for 2026. So now's the best chance. Now's a good way to punch your ticket in for not only this year, but potentially even for the next 2 years.
It's the year to get in there, and it gets harder and harder because there'll be 2 rounds of qualification next year. So that makes it that little bit harder as well. So and also too the X Series and the Truck Series, the competition's getting hotter and hotter each week. So rocking up just to race at a race without much practice, it's very hard to get in the top 15 to 20.
Absolutely. If you're not one of the guys at the point end of the field, I don't think you can do much of that. I know Matt Danson's a fan of jumping in and doing a little bit of practice, but I think he may have the stones and the speed to be able to pull that one off. Being I think it's around 6,600 I rating from memory. So I think if you're one of those guys, you definitely can. But for us guys who reside down in like the 2,000 to 3,000 range, even, I don't think any of us are not practicing for these races in the Australian NASCAR eSeries, and that's a great thing. It not only drives up traffic into the officials, considering you follow the official schedule, so you don't have to spend extra time during your week not on official servers, not getting the practice in with other drivers, just running hot laps of a track. No, this is all following the official series. It's designed that way so we can get the population of the Australian NASCAR servers up, and make sure there's a lot more races going official, as well as giving you all the opportunity to improve your safety and I rating throughout that, because the Australian NASCAR Championships, they do require a A-class license, and they are based off your I rating. So the split you're put into is based off your I rating. So if you want to get in the higher split, you gotta have a high I rating. That's the only way you can get into that split. We don't 100%. Do anything about average speed. We don't do anything about average finishes. We don't manually put people in splits. It's all down to I rating. Now, there's a bit of smoke there. I think I saw someone tag the wall. I think it may have been Andy Barber in the number 5 machine. He may have scraped the wall on the outside. We'll have a look at the right side of his car. A little bit of damage, but not too much. But at the moment, it's all the Brad Newman show. He's out in front. He's ripping away from everyone behind him. Nearly 4.5 seconds of a gap to Jaden Russell by the time pit stops are coming around.
Should be about now, I reckon.
Yeah, the next couple of laps definitely were able to go to 69, just full bore, without any time off. Now we had 8 laps of pretty much 8 laps of caution time that drivers were able to save fuel. So I think we'll be seeing drivers not quite in at the 70 mark, but we might see them pit just on the other side, maybe around 73 to 76 pit stop window now. Just making that run just a little bit shorter, a little bit less distance on those tires, so you're not having to save them as hard at the end of the race, and not having to be so gentle, and you can push a little bit more out of them and just squeeze every last bit of performance. Now, Shane Van Gisbergen, he's gone from last position. He's about 5 seconds off the lead of the race, and 3/10 of a second behind Jaden Russell. Now, he's actually within a tenth. So
we've got Len Bailey. Just hang on there, Bryce. We've got Len Bailey. There's no sound on YouTube, and Shane Bowen said the sound's good. So Len, if you're watching, it may be your YouTube may be muted, which is the third button across from your left-hand side. Just put the volume up there, and you should be good to go. Sorry, Bryce. As we've got a
that's okay. We can do that. Just Shane Van Gisbergen made a pass on Jaden Russell for P2. In the interim, so a little bit happening off track and a little bit happening on track.
This will be a test for him here too. This pit cycle will be, not many would have practiced pitting on 70 lap old tyres, and it's not easy around either. Not
a lot of people are going to make it easy. Brad Newman, he's gone in lap 71, so he's jumped down pit lane. That's it for Brad Newman. He's like, get me off. Matt Danson's into the pit lane as well, so the pit stops are coming. They are here, and we should see more drivers elect to make the decision to go down pit lane. There's another one in. That's Dave Douglas making his way in. He's a lap down at the moment, so not going to affect his race too much in terms of getting back on the lead lap, but potentially going to pick up some places amongst the lap cars. We'll have to watch everyone else. So Shane goes around again. There's a lot more cars in. Jaden Russell, Lockie Acugio's in. Brian Blundell, I think Manny Tontino's also come down the pit lane this time by their lapped cars. So the only 2 cars on the lead lap to come through, Jaden Russell and Lockie Acugio. Danson's now on exit, so he'll be rejoining the racing surface just in a moment. Brad Newman's already out and gone, so he'll be skimping away and using all that to his advantage. Aaron Gilbert's come in. Dean Powell's also in the pit lane, as we see Wayne Burke peeling off this time by. Shane Van Gisbergen still staying out. Matthew Budd, again, staying out for another lap. At lap 74 now, they're pushing it as far as they can. Nick Bottrell's in, Steve Williams is in. Sorry, Adriel, for stepping over.
Oh, no. I'm watching Shane at the moment, and it looks like he's going to go around again for another lap.
Absolutely. So we're looking for, I think Tom Free just jumped down the pit lane. There he goes. Well, see Shane, another lap. Matthew Budd. Does he come down? Does he stay out? That's going to be a stay out for Matthew Budd. Not looking for it. 28 of Alex Elbovics. He's come down the pit lane. Ruben Phelps as well. He's made his way into pit lane. Looking for Nick. I think it was. Yep. Henry King. Looking maybe this time by. I think you're pushing it to stay out much longer. Shane going for another lap. This will be like 76. Should see potentially in the next 2 or 3 laps, if not this time by. Ben Henniker, Henry King have elected to come down pit road. So all the time that they're staying out, they're just hoping for a yellow. Now, if a yellow happens, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic for everyone behind. The only cars who would be on the lead lap would be Shane Van Gisbergen, Matthew Budd, and Michael Campbell. As Matt Bailey's gone through, Shane's come down the pit lane this time by. Matthew Budd, he's going to come down this time by as well. You can see that by the position of his car. He's going to come down now. It's all Michael Campbell. Michael Campbell should be the last car to pit. Is Matthew Budd just looking for the entrance of pit road. Not quite sure where it is. He found it in the end. So I believe Matthew Campbell, he's going to stay out for another lap. And he's going to jump to the front of this race.
Bud might
and lead a lap.
Cone too, the entry cone too. So he might cop a penalty there. It looked like he might have, Bud on his entry, looks like he might have got the cone. The commitment cone.
It may have been. It may be bad. I just saw Jason Holdsworth jump to the pit lane, so I think his night's going to be done with it. Drivers aren't allowed to rejoin the circuit when they teleport back to the pits. Well, that's it, and that's it for Matt Campbell. He's going to peel into the pit lane as Brad Newman has worked his way back through to the front of the field. So Brad Newman, Jaden Russell, Wayne Burke, Matt Danson, Lockie Akuja, those are your top 5. Oh, sorry. Matt Danson, Lockie Akuja, and Shane Van Gisbergen. They should be your top. Oh, nope, just Lockie Akuja. Shane's just on the outside of P6. So they're your top 5 after the stops. Now it's Brad Newman. Again, 6-second lead over Jaden Russell. Going to draw some focus on building this gap. Making his way all the way out to the front. Making this race pretty much his to lose at this point. You know, I think the only driver who may be able to contest this is his teammate, Shane Van Gisbergen, who's made an absolutely stellar drive down from P34 after starting from the pit lane all the way up. He's currently 6th position. He was closing down on the leading pack just before that pit stop. He managed to make his way all the way up to P2 before that. So now it's all just an interesting game. Do you push these tyres? Do you try and save them? Do you push them flat out? I think it's going to be a pretty tight tightrope to walk, as we see. I believe that's the it's black 90-something car getting into the fence just in front of our race leader. It's absolutely brutal out here. Now, Andy Barber's in a race with the 28 machine. He's going to try and pick up a position here. As we see one of the Blondell cars, it's Brian Blondell on the bottom of the racetrack, just letting people by. He's managing to keep it high. You see Ruben Phelps just there wanting to pass the lap car of Andy Barber. So there's cars lap down everywhere. Bud's down 2 laps, so I believe you were right. Bud got a penalty. So I think that spells the end of his race at the rate we're going.
Yeah, if it goes green, definitely.
If it goes green to the end, it's all but done. He needs about, I think, 2 cautions.
I was going to say, it's a tough pit entry, Darlington. You got to get it
one
right.
of the toughest. Getting in quick here is really. I mean, I did a lot of here this week in this thing, and Yeah, so some of these blokes would have been really screaming for that pit stop to make their adjustments. Like you could visibly see some were really tight, some were really loose.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. You could see a lot of cars just starting not to want to behave. A lot of tight on entry, then loose on exit when you put the power down. It's definitely getting a bit incorrigible to drive. So hopefully they've all had a chance. They've all made the right adjustments, and we should be able to see good racing. Matt Danson, Lockie Akujo, they're a battle to watch as well.
Personally, I'd probably be trying to save my rubber a bit here. There's still a lot of laps.
Absolutely. You got a lot of laps to go. You got about 57 laps now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. About 60... No. Yes.
65? Nice. 55.
55. Yeah, 56. There we
Somewhere
go.
around there.
We're all great at mathematics here in the booth. All great. No, we have about 66 or 56 laps to go. Sorry, I almost said 66. 56 laps to go. So that's a lot of time on tires.
And that's a
yeah, especially with the speed that these guys are racing at.
Yeah, this place is old, worn out. It's tough on rubber here if you're not careful with it.
Absolutely, it's one of the things Darlington pride themselves on, is remaining as close to original as possible. And now Darlington's always been abrasive, and it's definitely not let up in recent years. Still quite a tricky track to run tyre saving on. I haven't had the best experiences here at Darlington. I'm a much bigger fan of Dover and other tracks along that sort of line. High banking tracks, they're all my bread and butter. I like those ones a little bit more. Short tracks as well I kind of like as well. I don't know, it's a bit interesting, but Darlington's kind of that medium to short track kind of vibe.
Yeah, like I love this place. It's
definitely a medium-sized track, but sometimes it just feels like you're racing on a short track. I don't know how to put it, but that's the feeling I get when I'm turning laps out at Darlington.
I love Darlington. If you just not concentrate for like half a second, your night's done.
Oh yeah, it's a risk-versus reward sort of track, but
yeah,
and it's so good to drive because it's so old and worn out, so the cars exercise around, especially this car. This car's awesome.
Absolutely, a lot of power, a lot more power than the trucks as well. So you got it like, everyone may be like, oh yeah, we're going to Darlington in the trucks and the Xfinity car. I almost feel like that's even harder to do, just to change how you drive these cars, because the truck has less power and a bit more aero. You got more aero in these cars.
This thing, nothing on it. That's what makes them so beautiful.
Yeah,
there's not much aero compared to, especially the Cup car.
Oh, not at all. You drive the Cup car, you feel the effects of the dirty air in the Cup car, especially.
Yeah, you can't spin it out if you try. But this thing, you really gotta drive it, and you gotta drive it to take care of it.
The way you spin an Xfinity car out is to mash the throttle. And that's the only way you do it. You do it on exit. If you can get that car unloaded, then you can go around.
Yeah, no, this is one of the best cars on the service, I think, personally. It's an awesome car to drive. Especially, with this track, it's got to be driven a certain way to be quick, sort of thing. It's a really tough track, this place.
And that's why the Australian NASCAR Championships next year will be in the Xfinity car.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best cars on this. One of my favourites on the service for sure.
Absolutely.
Because they don't drive they don't drive like a planted race car. You got to actually have some input with them, and that's what makes them rewarding when you do well. If you look after it, save the rubber a bit on these things. The cars just come back to you. It's really good, enjoyable thing to drive.
It's definitely been one of the cars it's been the car that's brought the most exciting racing here in the series. I know the truck's had its fair share of moments, but if we're going to look at every Australian NASCAR eSeries race that the Xfinities have run compared to the trucks, I'd say more excitement and a more intense racing has come from the Xfinity series than it has come from either the truck series or when it was run the Cup series did. So that is why it's our choice for the Australian NASCAR Championships. And as Nigel said, all those drivers who qualify into the top 30, qualifying series underway at the moment, they'll get in, they'll get to drive these cars next season, and everyone else will have to watch on from the sidelines until the qualifying series starts back up again late 2025. Now, if you want to get involved in the Australian NASCAR E-Series, feel free to head on over to our Facebook page, Australian NASCAR E-Series, over there. On the page, you'll find a post with all the details needed to join. I'll see if I can get Nigel to put those into the chat for you all if you're interested in jumping in for the next round at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That's happening in not this coming Sunday, but the Sunday after on the 15th. That'd be a good start to a season. You don't want to leave it any longer, because then you start eating into it and it starts becoming a lot harder to get into that top 30. So, 93 laps down, we've got around 45 more to go here tonight. And Brad Newman's just working his way through some lap traffic now, just trying to negotiate it, trying to be nice with it. Don't make your life any harder than you need to.
Part of Danson. It's a big pass for SVG and Danson. So now SVG's up to 4th.
Very good catch there. Nigel, see if Matt Danson has any response here to Shane. It's still within striking range, so you might try and put the move back on Shane, but he might also just try and say, hey, look, Shane's going to carve a way forward, I'm going to sit behind her, I'm going to do a little bit of tyre saving. It doesn't look like it with that. It looks like Matt Danson is pushing the car to its limits there as he gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 2. He has had a gap open on him, so Matt Danson, he'll currently sit in 5th. It's a good result for Matt Danson, up 24 positions tonight. We're just waiting to see who will win this race. At the moment, Synergy versus Lobs.
Yellow flag.
That's going to hurt quite a few drivers. Tom Freer is going to be in position to pick up the lucky dog, so Tom Freer should get back onto the lead lap. But now it's going to be interesting. Third caution of the night. I have no idea where it happened.
They'd only have one set of tyres left too, would they?
Yep.
Should do, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you take them now, or do you wait? And caution's very cautious sometimes.
So it's Ben Henniker and looks like Dean Powell involved. Just coming on the exit there. Ooh, hard up into the outside wall. And there goes Ben Henniker from the server, so he's been ejected. Now, I think that might also end the night of Dean Powell. Yep, both of those. Oh, no, there's Dean Powell. So Dean Powell is going to carry heavy damage from that incident. But both managing... Oh, nearly... Just be careful on the way back up to the grid. And we'll be alright. But that's going to bring out the third caution of the night. Now we'll have to see what happens here. I believe it's going to be a pit stop. I would personally probably... maybe not. Maybe.
Tough choice. They got 20 laps on them, at least 25 laps.
20 laps, 25. Stay out now. Keep track position. If you go to the back of the field to take new tires, then you should be in good position to pick up maybe a couple of places at the end. But it is going to neutralize the race. So Matt Danson, Lockie Acugio, Ruben Phelps, Nick Bottrell, they're all going to be back in with a shot to advance up and maybe get into the top 5. We only have 11 cars on the lead laps. We'll actually have, I believe, 12 cars on the lead lap once Tom Freer makes his way by as the lucky dog. So it's going to be an interesting night from here on out. 40, pretty much we're going to come out with about, I think, 41 laps to go on...
I'd probably take my last set here, maybe.
I probably would as well. I don't see anyone coming down. Dean Powell came down, that's expected, had damage. Tom Freer coming down, that's expected. I think he got the wave by, lucky dog. But it's going to be interesting. Now it's going to be a Lobs versus Synergy front 2 rows here. Russell's going to be on the outside of Newman. Outside of Burke is going to be Shane Van Gisbergen. Now, that's going to be a fight. Matt Danson's going to be in 5th. See if he can pick up any of the pieces, maybe, going through turns 1 and 2. Lockie Acugio, I'm probably thinking along the same lines. If this kicks off, then this kicks off, and it's going to kick off big time. So we're going to be looking for that. Nick I think that's Henry King just shelling there, and it's Ruben Phelps is in the 6th position. So overall, I'd say it's been a very productive night for the SRM guys. Unfortunate for Matthew Budd to pick up a penalty heading into pit lane. All 3 would be in the top 10 by now if he hadn't done that. So it's promising signs for weeks to come. Definitely shows that you guys have the speed to be up at the pointy end each week, and it's very, very good to see. Probably think after Lobs and maybe, I think before those guys, you guys have been the most consistent front-running team alongside Southern Stars. They've fallen back a little bit in the order this season in terms of their pace and their speed, but still always managing to sneak a car or 2 into the top 10. So a lot of teams here have improved their game, and that goes for every single privateer as well, managing to make their way up the field. I know Nick Bottrell, he's definitely had an improvement in terms of his speed and maybe even a little bit of his tyre saving over the last couple of weeks and definitely over last season. So it's good to see drivers of all skill levels and ranges working their hardest to improve their own driving, but it's going to be an interesting restart. We're going to go green with 40 laps to go. For Brad Newman, you'll have the control of this restart. Again, if you don't know how restarts work here in ovals, it is at the restart zone. That's marked with a 2 painted red lines and then a Geico advertisement. That zone goes for, I think, about 20 to 30 meters on the front stretch. When the leader enters that zone, he is able to go whenever he pleases. So we'll jump out into a wide angle. Gonna watch him wheel spin. I don't think he will. So you see, there's the zone I was talking about. Once Brad Newman enters the zone, which he now has, he's able to go, and he goes in the middle of the zone, tries to get a jump on the rest of his competition, make their life harder into turn 1. Maybe try and move up into the outside lane, make it a little bit easier for his teammate to try and slingshot around the outside as Shane moves up into P3, and down into P4 goes Wayne Burke. Now Wayne Burke has to fight Danson and Lockie Akuju, who are fighting for 5th position. Sorry, Ruben Phelps got passed by Nick Bottrell and just has to try and reclaim 6th position there. But it's going to be Danson hold on against Lockie Akujo. There hasn't been a position swap 100% just yet. As we look just further on back, it's Lockie Akujo is going to lead into turn 1. He'll be a car length clear, so he can shut the door here on Danson and make his way through over to B5. Very nicely done there for Matt Danson. Shane Van Gisbergen on Jaden Russell now. They're going to fight on the exit of turn 2. Shane giving enough room there for Jaden Russell just to hang on. Doesn't push him into the wall. Clears the car. Now he goes up and then he slides. Now it's going to be Lobs 1, 2, Synergy 3 and 4. 5th is currently contested between Danson for Altus Esports and Lockie Akujo of SRM Australia. Now Nick Bottrell, he's in the 225 machine. He just got passed by Ruben Phelps for 7th position on the road. We're another restart down, and now we're single filing out. Brad Newman's gone once again, out to half a second lead. Now I feel like it's going to be the same thing for Shane here. Shane's going to try and get a gap. He's going to try and make as much time fit between him and Russell. Now Russell's going to not let him do that, but he's just tagged the wall, and that's not going to help. So that's Jaden Russell getting even further back from the Lobs Esports guys. And I feel like if these guys hook up at the front, then we're not going to see them for another 37 laps until they cross the checkered flag. Either that or they're going to go racing. We do not know. And that's the exciting thing here about oval racing. Jeez, that's a good field.
Lobs Esports are showing their dominance once again. Brad Newman, SVG. Looks like Team Order are going out the window. They've been told to race.
Yeah, they're going to race. I feel like Brad's going to maybe take this opportunity. I think Shane, the fresher of the 2 sets of tyres, having stopped later than Brad, he'll be able to make his way through and try and extend even further. But I wouldn't write Brad Newman off. I think he's still a chance for a win here tonight. If the gloves really are off and they don't mind racing each other at the end, then I feel like we could see either one of these 2 drivers win the race tonight. Now, Jaden Russell and Wayne Burke have to figure out what they want to do, if they want to catch these 2 or not. because they have Matt Danson, who's hot on their heels. He wants the last podium position all to himself. He wants another shout out to the sponsors here tonight. Same with Lockie Acugio and Ruben Phelps. They'd love to get on the podium just to celebrate their sponsors as well, the people who help make them go racing. Now, Matt Danson looks for a move up the inside, not able to find it on Wayne Berg. Just a little bit of patience here. We're ticking down the laps to go. 34 left in this race. Now we're looking and looking. Brad Newman not able to hang with Shane Van Gisbergen, and there's the age difference in those tyres. Only about 6 to 7 laps worth of difference, but that's all you need at this stage in the race. No one on fresh set of tyres, so no one's able to charge through the field. Everyone's still got to look after their what they're on until the end of the race. Now, Danson had one look, and then it's been a bit dry since. Now, I'm going to jump back. It's going to be Aaron Gilbert. He's in a battle at the moment with Matt Bailey and Stephen Williams. So he's looking around. That's Alex Delbovic making a move on the 225 of Nick Bottrell. Should be able to get this move done. Looks like Alex has the speed on the inside. Nick running that high line, just getting a little slow. Holding up Matt Bailey behind, who's going to get preyed upon by the lap car. So yeah, they're all lap cars down here by the looks of things. But I think that was the lap car of Aaron Gilbert. And Nick Bottrell now dropping like a stone through the rest of the field. So maybe his tyres aren't holding up as well as I thought they were. Matthew Budd, another lap car, looking to make his way by Nick Bottrell. So Nick Bottrell not losing out any actual positions, but he's dropping down the order, and he's going to make gaining positions very hard for him later on in this race. This is Wayne Burke, Jaden Russell, and Matt Danson. That's the battle so far. That's for the last step on the podium, as the Lobs cars take out 1 and 2 and look pretty comfortable up controlling this race. So might only be on for a battle for third, but I don't think anyone here is going to complain, as all these drivers are very talented, very skilled, and they should be able to give us a good race right up until the checkered flag here tonight. Now, Nigel, it's 30 laps to go. I think we all deserve another fact.
Well, you've caught me off guard, but that's okay. I can go find a fact.
It's okay. Whilst Nigel goes for... Oh, you got one?
Give me 2 laps.
I'll give you 2 laps, okay. So we're going to check back in with Nigel just shortly, and we're going to get another fact here. It's something we like to do under caution, but sometimes we treat ourselves, just like Nigel does treat himself to a nice bowl of ice cream after each race. It's a very... I really wish I could join him in that tradition. But I don't have any ice cream in my house, and I don't think Matty Ray does either.
Whoa, in the wall. 89.
Oh, yes, so you're right. Into the wall goes Wayne Burke. He's going to check up massively. It's going to cause a bit of a traffic jam in behind him. Matt Danson now going to take his opportunity to go up the inside, and he'll make the move stick as he slams the door shut on Wayne Burke, who now has Lockie Acugio down on the inside, and Wayne Burke's actually missing the rear bumper cover of his car. That's going to significantly compromise the performance of that vehicle. There may not be a lot of aerodynamics on this car, but that is a very integral part of them. So you don't want to lose it. It can cost a lot of speed. Maybe not here at Darlington, but if you're on a standard 1.5 mile track. Oh, there's a touch coming out of the line. It's going to cause an even bigger traffic jam. Aaron Gilbert's going to go up the inside 3 wide with a lap car. That's not really what you want to be doing. Aaron Gilbert's going to get a punt. Lockie Acugio, he's going to go up, slide up into the wall. Maybe a caution here late in this race. No, they all managed to hold on, but it's a bit of a cluster at the moment. Cluster of cars doing a cluster of things, and everyone almost ending up in the wall. Matthew Budd as well. This nearly gets across the front of the 28 car. Everyone's just diving, darting, moving in and out of the way. Yeah, Aaron Gilbert there just coming down on top of the 28 car. The 28 car of Alex Stevelix must be feeling like, what are these guys doing? They're coming across my nose every other turn. What the hell is happening here? Aaron Gilbert, he does not want to lose any positions. Now, Alex Delbovic is a lap car. He's just got speed. So he's fighting Matthew Budd. He's trying to get past Budd for the lucky dog if there's another caution. one of these drivers will get their lap back. Matthew Budd wants it back because he wants to be up there in the top 10. Alex wants to get his lap back because he wants to be up in the top 10 as well. Now, Aaron Gilbert, he was caught in the crossfire slightly, maybe a little bit with Lockie Acugio as well, as a round turn for 25 laps here to go. 25, no, 5, yep, 25. We should be seeing a lap to go marker on the timing tower by now, but I don't think we will until the end of this lap here. But Shane Van Gisbergen, he's gone, checked out, putting his luggage into the plane, ready to make his way over to our next race in the series as he crosses the line. 25 now to go. Brad Newman behind. He's also in a comfortable position, just sitting in P2. Doesn't have to push it. Doesn't have to race too hard. He'll come home in a very solid position at the end of this race. Now everyone further on back. That is where the story changes. Now we've got Aaron Gilbert. He's making a run at Matt Bailey. So Aaron Gilbert's looking to make moves up. Ruben Phelps wants to try and get onto the podium. He's in 5th position currently, not too far away from making that a possibility. Matt Bailey's under attack. That's Aaron Gilbert diving down to the inside. Matt Bailey goes high, tries to build momentum on the outside, but nothing to answer the 203's challenge. And he'll move up into 6th position now. Lockie Acugio, he'll want to recover after that little kerfuffle down into turn 4. As we've got other cars racing to their heart's content, just in on behind. We have a couple of cars a lap down, fighting so desperately for their lap back. Included amongst them is Matthew Budd in the 37 car. It was my pick for a race win not too long ago, and he's in front of Stephen Williams, who's in 10th. That's my current race pick for tonight, but looks like Matthew Budd may have just unlapped himself. At least on my timing tower. Ooh, that's up the inside of Wayne Burke. Goes Stephen Williams. No, Matthew Budd still a lap down on the top 7 cars. So he's making his way through, but probably not at the rate of speed he needs to without a lucky dog. But he is hunting Alex, who is he's the lead of the lap cars. So he'll get the lucky dog if the caution were to fly within the next 22 laps. For those who aren't familiar with oval racing, the lucky dog is a wave by. So when the caution flag comes out, they get their lap back, as we see Matt Bailey hook into the wall. That's going to be another position gain for Alex Stelbovics there as he charges towards the front, putting him in the best position possible away from Matthew Budd. So a lot of cars jumping around, changing position. It's kind of calmed down a little bit now. Danton and Russell, they're still pretty close. Gilbert and Phelps is another battle we need to be watching out for, because they're getting very close. Maybe Aaron Gilbert's going to have a charge here for 3rd position for Team Jinx Shifters. So it will be a very good result for him tonight. He's up 19 positions. Matt Danson still holds the most positions gained. Look, Ruben Phelps, if he gets up 3 positions into the 3rd spot, he'll have dethroned Matt Danson for the amount of position gained. So it's a good little 3-way battle here. Pretty much going to decide who fights for the last position on the podium. There's Jaden Russell. He's started to work his way away from these 3. So you don't want to fight too much. You only got 20 laps to go. You want to be getting a move. So we'll get on board. This is Aaron Gilbert's car. It's going to be a good race here. We see Ruben Phelps moving to the inside, looking down the inside into turn 1 on Matt Danson. Doesn't pull the trigger, stays behind just ever so slightly, gets up into that top group. It's where you need to be. It's where all the speed is. You've got to carry that momentum down the back straight. You see the momentum in the slipstream pulling Aaron Gilbert forward. Not quite enough to get a move done, so he's going to have to set it up for another lap. Now it's going to be interesting if they get to this car in front. It looks to be slowing down, I believe. That's Jaden Russell just holding just out of reach of Matt Danson, just enough that the air is affecting his car into these turns and it's slowing everyone down. You can see Aaron Gilbert's car there pushing up the track in the dirty air of Ruben Phelps and Matt Danson. It's see how much he gains coming down the back straight. So Ruben's going to have to defend slightly. He does that perfectly. Gets in the way, says, you're not going down the inside today, mate. It's going to be status quo for another lap. Does give Danson a breather. So you have to make sure to manage your defensive timing as well. If you want to get a position, you've got to figure out when to be defensive and when just to let the guy behind go. Potentially open up a hole that you can capitalize on, and then you can do both of them a little bit later on. Jump back out. There it's all Alex Stelbovic. He's just snuck up the inside of Aaron Gilbert as we're on board with him. So he's made his way even further up front. Makes you think, if Alex Stelbovic was in a lap down right now, would he be in the position he is? I think he would be. And I think that's a great showing there for Alex tonight. Now, Shane is about 5.3 seconds ahead of Brad Newman, who's another 5 seconds ahead of Jaden Russell. So they're done and dusted. Their race is over. We'll go see them cross the line. But that's going to be Matt Danson falling out of favour now. Ruben Phelps making his way through now. It's Aaron Gilbert's turn to fire one down the inside on the Altus Esports driver. See if he can make his way by Matt Danson, not letting it happen, holding him to that inside, not letting him push up the track and extend his run. It hurts him, but it means that Aaron can't get a run down to turn 1, and it gives Danson a bit more time to stabilise himself, a bit more time to recenter himself, and then get his speed back. We're going to see Aaron Gilbert with another chance down the back straight in just a moment's time. Now, 15 laps to go. Jaden Russell may have just done enough. With all the fighting that's been going on behind him, if he can keep this speed, he may have just done enough. Now, he just needs to be smart. When you see Alex Stelbovic coming through, maybe the best option right now is just to let him by. Don't fight him. Don't try and prove a point. He's on a charge. He just wants to get through. So at the moment, he's not worth fighting. So Jaden Russell, will he let him by? This is the moment where you'd probably do it. Going down the inside, I feel like this one's not going to be too contested. No, but it is. So he runs down to the middle lane. Doesn't make it the easiest pass in the world, but does get out of the way and let Alex through. And Alex actually had the pace to just go through underneath him anyway. So that's the difference in tyres at play and different race strategies. And definitely would have loved to see what Alex could have done on the lead lap. He's only got Brad Newman and Shane Van Gisbergen to unlap until he gets himself back onto it, but they're about 12 seconds in front of him, and I don't think he's got enough time. As Ruben Phelps goes down the inside looking for the P3 spot, Jaden Russell, he's up in the fence. Oh, they're touching. And Ruben Phelps makes his way by. A bit rowdy here. It's going to get rowdier going into turn 1. It's Ruben Phelps now on the defensive. Jaden Russell probably going to return the favour, sends it and goes all the way up to the high line. Ruben Phelps just out of the way, mate. No answer. I didn't defend it. He's going to try and cut down to the inside on the bottom of the back straight. Not quite going to have the speed to get an overlap. Going to see if he can get a look down the inside of turn 3. Not going to happen this time by Jaden Russell. Wary to make the same mistake again. He's going to leave the door open maybe for Aaron Gilbert as both drivers, they're on the exit. They're side by side going down the main straight now. It's just opening the door further for Aaron Gilbert maybe to come through. Both drivers not wanting to give each other any more room than they have to. There's a lot of room given there though. Ruben Phelps is probably going to lose out a bit of speed here now, so be careful. Aaron Gilbert on the inside might go for an overtake. As Danson's looking, Aaron Gilbert's just peeking out, having a think about it. Not going to happen this time by Ruben, covers it smartly. So 10 laps to go. The battle for third is heating up here tonight at Darlington, as the battle for first and second has already pretty much been decided between Shane Van Gisbergen and Brandon Newman. Now, Jaden Russell, he'll be fighting for this P3. It'll be a very well-earned P3 for whoever gets it. He just tags the wall. He's going to lose his momentum on the outside there. Let's Ruben through. And Ruben's going to take the P3 now. He just has to hold it. Gets really squirrely on the outside. It's going to be... he's gone turned. Down the back straight. Matt Danson's on the outside going to try and capitalise. Aaron Gilbert looked to capitalise on the inside. But Ruben Phelps, he's out of the running now for it. That's going to be pretty much heavy damage if he's hit the inside wall there. You can see him limping in the background. But Matt Danson, the ultimate benefactor out of that. Same with Matt Bailey. Matt Bailey's going to sneak his way through into 4th position at this rate. If he can just get by Matt Danson, it'll be a very well-earned P3. Danson's into the wall. And now it's Matt Bailey there for P3. So Matt Bailey's gotten P3 out of nowhere. He's tagged the wall again. Matt Bailey, is going to be a caution flag here, 8 laps to go. And that's neutralised this race. And everyone is now on the edge of their seats because we have a race here at the end of Darlington. Shane Van Gisbergen and Brad Newman, they thought they had it done. They do not here anymore. It's going to be about a 5-lap shootout to the end of the race. And oh my, that racing is just what we love to see here tonight.
Unbelievable. That was... No one gave an inch. No one gave an inch. It was unbelievable.
It was absolutely great racing to watch. And I'm sure the drivers are going to feel differently about each other in that situation, but I just want to say that's some of the best racing I've seen in the series to date, and I do not care that we've got a caution because of it, because I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, and I was looking forward to it. Now we've got 5 laps to go. It's going to be interesting. Now that battle for P1 isn't quite decided yet. What's going to happen here with the tyre strategy? Who's going to get it? More importantly, Alex Stelbovics, you're going to get your lap back. You've been fast on the tyres. You'll have an opportunity to go down pit lane and put fresh ones on as the lucky dog. I want to see you take this battle all the way back up to the front of the field. As we watch Shane Van Gisbergen round out. He's coming in. It's tyre time. They're putting on new rubber. They're putting on new rubbers, and they're going back out there for an all-out battle to the end. We're going to see a couple of cars also get their lap back as well. That's Tom Pritchard and Nick Bottrell. They'll all pick up a lap with the wave bike. But everybody in the top 10. Everybody in the top 10, including Ruben Phelps. Ruben Phelps not out of this race, despite being spun not too long ago. Not out of this race. So good to see Ruben not picking up any damage. Matt Bailey as well. He got into the wall. He lost a bumper cover though, so he's going to have a bit more damage. He'll try and get that repaired under this stop. Shouldn't lose a lap if he does it right. There it goes. It just popped right back out. So he'll have good speed. Aaron Gilbert has just decided to ruin all of the wave buys' chance of getting their lap back past Matthew Budd. So Matthew Budd, Alex Stelbovics, and Tom Pritchard, they may get their lap back this time by, as they're in front of the first place lead car. It's going to be interesting. Ruben Phelps, that's going to be repairing a little bit of damage. Did I just see a car bin it into turn 1, or no, they just hooked it around really fast? I thought I saw them sideways binning it into turn 1 under caution. Going very quickly. No, Matt Bailey, he's in under damage still. He should be able to get out before he should be able to get out before the rest of the field come around. Wayne Burke as well, electing to repair some damage, so they'll come out this time. 5 laps to go. Aaron Gilbert's going to be a massive cork. I'm not even gonna be too polite about it. This is going to be a cork in the bottle situation, because he's on very hot tires, and it may not be the best decision in terms of a racing for first standpoint, because you're going to get swallowed alive. But if you just want the bonus point, then, you know.
Yeah, it might not be the silliest move. I mean, the way a lot of these races have been ending lately is people get quite aggressive towards these sorts of, with this sort of laps to go sort of thing. So
that they do.
Might
you're
not
right.
be that silly getting the track.
It might not. It might not.
Riding yellow to the win almost, maybe. You never know.
No, definitely not out of the reach if that's what you're going for. But I have a feeling he's going to drop at least 2 positions here on the restart, just because of the speed of the tires, and it's still quite a lengthy way down to turn 1, and you have to defend it. So unless he gets an absolute blinder of a start, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and a caution happens.
Spin him up as well. He's on
Yeah. That's the thing. That's really the reason why I say it's an interesting decision. I say I'm not going to be polite. I'm saying he's a roadblock. He's only a roadblock if he spins the tires, or if he gets the back straight and isn't like, he definitely won't have the pace. His tires won't be capable of it. It's not an indictment on his skill. It's an indictment on his tires and their age, and that's something that. It's just a fact of this kind of racing, that he's not going to have the speed if there's no caution in the first turn. That's what he's... Now, he could be in the position to force a caution, to be fair. The speed differential could catch someone out. So if he gets a slow start and someone further on back stacks it up, then he could ride yellows all the way to the end. That's a definite possibility. But I feel like he's going to get swallowed alive, is Aaron Gilbert. And it'll be a valiant fight till the end for him. 4 laps to go at the moment. We'll go green with 3. It's going to be Aaron Gilbert's choice of restart from the restart zone. Again, if you're just joining us, he can go anywhere in that Geico-sponsored area. He likes to go rather late. Yep, there's the wheel spin we're talking about. Doesn't get a good start. Brad Newman's going to dart to the inside. Everybody's going around Aaron Gilbert. It's going to make a party into turn 1 there. 3 wide, almost 4 wide, and he loses 4 spins. Oh, that's Brad Newman into the wall. Brad Newman's hit the wall on the inside of the tires. Aaron Gilbert's been forced under the track. So now it's going to be Matt Danson, and battle's back on. It's Lockie Acugio against Jaden Russell for P3 at the moment. So as much as it was valiant, poor Aaron Gilbert's got that wheel spin. Now it's Matt Danson versus Shane Van Gisbergen for P1. Lockie Acugio hitting the wall. There goes Jaden Russell to the inside. Massive contact into the front fence. We're still green. It's yellow now. It's going to be a big contact there between Lockie Acugio and Jaden Russell. That's going to bring out the 5th caution of the night. Now, you were right. These cautions do breed cautions. That's going to put us under green-white checker conditions. We're very close to getting another lap down and then a white flag. But just a bit of contact coming out of turn 4. We're going to rewind and go even further back because it doesn't like doing it at the right point in time. Here it comes, just loose on the outside, just comes down, and then Jaden Russell pays the price. Hard into the inside wall. That's going to be Jaden Russell's night pretty much done here. But unfortunate way to bring out the 5th caution of the night. First green-white checker of the night as well. We'll have 6, oh no, it's not 6 of them, 3 of those scheduled for tonight. So they had 3 opportunities to get this race official. Otherwise, it will end under yellow. Now, we'll jump back to a live picture. It's going to be Shane Van Gisbergen dragging them off the line. Now, if I was Aaron Gilbert, I would take this opportunity. I would go grab some tires. You're not going to lose too much in terms of position. You'll probably lose about, you know, four actual positions on track, but it won't be anything to scoff at. Get new tires on. Make sure to finish in a strong position. Don't want to be wheel spinning and then getting collected. That's probably the worst outcome that could happen for Aaron tonight. So if I were him, I would jump down at some point, but maybe he's just keen to ride this one to the end as he stays out for another lap. Now Matt Danson's in P2. 31 positions gained tonight, so a very good night here for Matt Danson. Shane Van Gisbergen did the first to last the first challenge here tonight at the moment. So we'll be looking for him to see if he can win this race. That'll be the first pole position converted into a race win if you consider that he got pole and just drop the fact that he decided to start from the pit lane at the end of it. But it's going to be interesting racing here for the end. Absolutely, it's great racing so far to the end, but now Synergy Sim Racing, they don't have anyone to contend anymore. Wayne Burke's damaged and Jen Russell, they're out. So a good night for Synergy Sim Racing just turned sour right at the dying stages. 2 laps to go and they're front running 26. He's out of the race now. So it's a tale of ups and downs everywhere you look throughout the field, and a lot of different storylines to come out from tonight. I feel like we haven't talked about it much, but the race review panel, they might have a few cases to look over this weekend. As this week as there's.
It'd be interesting to see how many laps of fuel these guys have got left. Oh no, some of them come to pit lane, didn't they?
Sorry. No, the top 10 basically all came down to pit lane
they did.
last time by, and if they had any sense, they would have filled for green white checkers. Now it depends, have they filled for 3 or they've filled for 1? I feel like we're only going to have to see 1 green white flag checker, green white checker here tonight before the end of this race and before we get into our race results and interviews with the top 3 drivers. Now, whether that's going to be 2 Lobs on the podium or it's going to be a Lobs, Altus or SRM, maybe even Stephen Williams has just found himself back up in the top 5. Maybe even he goes for a win here tonight. Who knows? It's going to be 3 laps to go. We're going to go green. Not this lap, but the next lap by. We'll be going green. All the drivers are just sorting themselves at the moment. So at the moment, it's Shane Van Gisbergen leading the race here tonight. Matt Danson in second. Lucky Cujo third. Brad Newman in fourth. Stephen Williams in P5 after a challenging night. Ruben Phelps in P6. Matt Bailey in the 117. He's in 7th position tonight. A good result for him. Aaron Gilbert still on those old tyres in the 203. Just hoping to hang on. Nick Bottrell in the 225. And Matthew Budd has made his way back to P10 after a penalty in the pit lane. I think he's actually trading places with Alex Stelpovic. So they'll be battling between who's actually in 10th. I believe it's Alex on the outside there. Matthew Budd in 11th. Still a very decent result at the moment for Matthew Budd, considering the penalty he suffered earlier on in the race. And then there's a bunch of other cars laps down. Jason Holdsworth is out there. He's 24 laps down. He's just out to pick up points at the moment, try and pass anyone who's a few further laps down. He gets a few more laps under his belt to work his way back. But now is the time. It is lights out on the pace car. We're entering 3 and 4. Shane Van Gisbergen will have the control of the field and we'll have a good call till the end of this session. All these cars nice and close together. Everyone not wanting to give an inch of room to another driver here tonight. Everyone can smell this race win. Everyone can smell a podium finish here tonight. And Shane Van Gisbergen, he's on the run to the restart zone. Goes just at the midpoint of the box. Matt Danson, good launch on the inside. Same with Lockie and QJ. He makes a good run down and he manages to keep Brad Newman up onto that high line. He may be able to get away with it. They're going to run side by side. A little bit of a rub, a little bit of a tap. And Brad Newman's going to be able to get skatey on the outside there. Leaves the door open for another attack by Lockie Akujo. He makes his way down. Matt Danson versus Shane Van Gisbergen for P1 here tonight. 2 laps to go. Make it to the green. Make it to the line this time by. We'll have a white flag. And this race will go official. Shane Van Gisbergen making his way down. It is going to be the white flag. Final lap here at Darlington. Shane Van Gisbergen versus Matt Danson. Matt Danson just trying to find anything he can to get past Shane here at the end. Lockie Kucher trying to work the same thing on Brad Newman. Further back for P3. P5 goes to Stephen Williams, who's made his way ahead. Matt Bailey's under attack from Matthew Budd, who's made his way from 11th to 8th in this restart. But it's going to be Shane Van Gisbergen to just hold on against Matt Danson here tonight. Wins at Darlington, and Matt Danson is in second. Brad Newman's going to come home in 3rd position. Stephen Williams, after a very rough start to the race, he'll come home in 4th position for Simrick's DPR Racing. A very good showing there tonight. Lockie Akujo in 5th place for SRM Australia. Matt Bailey has a great showing, finishing in P6. Matthew Budd, good recovery from an earlier penalty, finishes up in P7. And Wayne Burke finishes in the 8th position for Synergy Sim Racing. Not a bad night for them in the end. Ruben Phelps finishes in 9th. Nick Bottrell comes home in P10. We'll get you further race results later on. And so I think Shane's called it. He's not going to do anything. Not going to do burnouts for us here tonight. So we'll just roll straight on through to the results here tonight.
That was a cracking race.
Absolutely, I enjoyed that thoroughly here tonight, both as just a spectator and as well as the call. So here's the standings for the race here tonight. Shane Van Gisbergen for Lobs Esports. He'll claim P1 and win his 2nd Xfinity Series race here in the Australian NASCAR eSeries at Darlington Raceway. Matt Danson for Altus Engineering. He's in P2. Very good showing from him, starting all the way down in 33rd. Brad Newman finishes up in P3 tonight. Stephen Williams in P4. Lockie Kujo P5. Matthew Budd P6. Good result for SRM Australia. Wayne Burke in P7. Ruben Phelps P8. Aaron Gilbert in P9. Alex Stelbovic in P10. Tom Freer for Synergy Sim Racing manages to pull a 11th place finish out of what was a difficult night. Blundell Sim Racing's Tomo Blundell finishes in 12th position. Matt Bailey in P13 must have picked up a penalty just at the end of the race there. as he was in the top 10 on the unofficial results. These are the official ones, so a penalty has been applied to Matt Bailey, dropping him down to P13. Nick Bottrell in P14 as well, I think, picking up a little bit of a penalty at the end there, which promoted some other drivers forward. Tom Pritchard in P15 for Southern Stars. He's the first of the Southern Stars cars to cross the line. I think the only one to make it to the end of the race. Dave Douglas finishes 4 laps down in P16. Ricky Hyde in 17th with 17 laps. 17th with 7 laps down, and we get into the cars who didn't quite make the end of the race. I think Jaden Russell, he wrapped his race up with that big contact between him and Lockie Akujo coming out of turn 4. He'll get an 18th place result tonight as a result. Tonight, Henry King 19th, Brian Blundell in 20th, Michael Campbell 21st, Dean Powell 22nd, Jason Holderliffe 23rd, Andy Barber in 24th, Riley Curtis 25th, Ben Haneker in 26th position tonight, 54 laps down, 104 laps down is Adam Malone, Kobe Williams as well, out early on in this race. Same with Manny Tolentino, Scott Griffiths, Matt Patton, Marty Mitchell, Shane Bowen, and Paul Andretti, all numerous laps down here tonight, all did not make it halfway through this race. So, an exciting night here at Darlington. We'll look to get your interviews started. We have Matt Danson in the room. I believe it'll be our only interview tonight, so we're going to give him quite a long time to give us a chat.
Brad's up. Is here for an interview as well. So.
Oh, he's just down in the driver's room. Perfect. Well, we'll start with our 3rd place finisher, Brad Newman, then. Oh, that's Matt Dan. Well, we'll start with Matt. Why not?
You there, Matt?
Or am. Yeah, you can start with me. Why not?
Congratulations on your 2nd place or 3rd place. Hang on, I've got my screen all wrong in. P2. Congratulations on your 2nd. Sorry, my screen just went funny, and it's like
no, you're good.
I've got it. It's my fault because I've got my other screen on pause, and it's got 1 lap or 2 or 3 laps to go, and it's got you in 3rd. I don't know why, but anyway.
Yeah.
So
well,
congratulations on your 2nd place.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I mean, to be fair, I probably 3rd is about as much as I probably deserved. Shane and Brad were the class of the field. So yeah, they did an awesome job, and yeah, I was lucky to come away with it. Kind of a bit of a. It's always a bit dicey when you have someone that stays out in the old tires, and I can't remember who it was, but they had to, because obviously they'd taken their last set on that previous yellow.
Yep.
And they did a really good job not to spin the tires and wreck and everything, but obviously you do 20 odd laps or whatever it is here, you're going to be a bit of a sitting duck, and did a good job not to wreck. I don't think he wrecked, but
no, I think he finished 9th.
Yeah, there you go. So he gave it a crack, but I think that's kind of stacked the field up a little bit, and then Brad got kind of stuck there. I haven't gone back to look at it yet, but I was kind of just on the top, and I knew it was going to be a little bit dicey. And then obviously when you're coming from as shallow as sort of Brad was being forced to, you're always going to kind of scoot up a little bit. And I was just trying to make sure I didn't destroy every single car in the field in turn 1. So kind of tried to get out of it. But he must have done an epic save, because on my screen he was like perpendicular with the wall. So that's huge. But it was an awesome race. Usual situation. You've heard me waffle on with a million times before, but trying to finish work in time, and run across and get everything set up. And I obviously got my timings wrong. I thought we started quali at 15:15, so I sat down to try and put in some sort of a lap, and it was telling me there was a couple of seconds to go, warm-up's about to start. I was like, okay, fair enough, I guess my first lap's gonna be the warm-up. But yeah, but so we had a nice little march through. I feel like I was always a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of my rhythm and whatnot. I wasn't really driving very well. I saw the 97 kind of drop back, and he obviously showed how it's done in terms of tire save and whatnot, because I assume our car was really good, as always. It's the Altus Engineering setup off VRS, and because I have no idea how to set up cars, so just straight off that's what I downloaded. But yeah, I was just all at sea, I guess, at a little bit of the race, just trying to save tires and keep some pace in it, whilst also getting through the traffic. But yeah, super pleased to come away with another podium. I think we've had just about every start at this point has been a podium, except for probably the most important race on
On
Sunday just
night.
gone. Yeah, but we controlled that, which was awesome. I had a couple of strategy ideas that I shared with those other boys that I was kind of working with on that night, and it just panned out beautifully. I know we're not talking about that race now, but I guess I walked away from that just kind of thinking, just kicking myself because I should have gone harder at the end there. I was a bit worried about blowing up and kind of caused a bit of a stack up, and my own demise was really more my fault than anything else. So kicking myself for that, but obviously we've got a long season ahead of us there. Really enjoying what I'm sort of doing here and getting back into racing, because to be honest, before joining this league, I'd really fallen out of love with racing and iRacing and that sort of thing. Just wasn't really as important, but just getting around with with you guys, obviously the broadcast and everything that goes on there, and everyone that we race with, like, it's a really good group, and it's kind of reignited that passion.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Mm.
that's. Thank you very
Very,
much for that.
very wholesome. Yeah.
Um, shout out to all your team and sponsors.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, sort of gave him a little bit of a plug earlier, but Altus Engineering through VRS, it's you really can't go wrong when it comes to the oval side of things. That's obviously what our focus is now is Altus. So get around that. Everything's made by Coke Series drivers, so you're getting some quality gear there. But you boys, for the broadcast, I was sitting there in the Discord in case you happen to jump down and ask me a question about strategy or whatnot. But I think usually you guys have got it pretty well sorted, so I'm looking forward to watching that and hear you guys dissect that.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll send you some tips afterwards. But
Thank you.
no, like I said, you guys are usually pretty on point with all that. Shout out to all the competitors. It was really impressive racing, especially like I was talking to Matt Bailey before. He had a bit of an issue just in front of me. Got kind of caught the wall. It's such an awkward spot in the Exeter 2. Caught the wall and just kind of concertinaed from there. Similar issue with Wayne. Myself, Jaden, and he were having a nice little tussle, and the walls just suck you in, and it just grabbed him, and I had no I don't know, maybe younger me might have reacted better, but old me is a bit a bit behind these days. It takes like a couple of tenths extra to react. So unfortunately we had some contact there, and felt like my car was not quite the same from that. But look, we came with P2. It was a fun night, and of course, can't forget, shout out Alex again. Like you always know, she takes on bedtime duties with our beautiful Oliver when it's race night. So shout out to her. She did. She came in the room with about whatever it was, like 7 to go, when I was like neck deep in the battle with I think it was Ruben, Matt Bailey, someone else, and I was just like, can't talk now, and I'm like straining for breath because it's just like force feedback city. But it was a really fun race. Like I said, thanks to everyone putting it on, thanks for everyone competing, thanks for everyone listening to my nonsense right now, and I hopefully will burn everyone's ears up next time.
Thank you very much for that, Matt, and we'll probably see you Friday night in the trucks.
Thank you, Nigel. Take care.
There was Matt Danson. Now we have Brad Newman, who's going to come and join us in third. Ooh, you there, Brad?
G'day, fellas.
How you going? Sorry about that. I went to second first instead of third. I didn't see you there.
How you on, mate?
Yeah, well, congratulations on your third place tonight. You had a pretty fast car to start the race. Tell us a bit about your night.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It was cruisy for the first, it was 100 and something laps, and it got pretty spicy at the end there, but yeah, it was good fun.
You Lobs guys were pretty much up the front all night. How much practice went into this race, and strategy-wise, did it all go to plan?
Yeah, not a lot of practice, but the car was obviously pretty good, and the strategy was just to roll around and make sure we had a set of tyres if there was a caution at the end, which there turned out to be. So that was pretty well all there was to that.
No, it was a great finish with you guys. I was trying to work out what happened at the end then when you hit the wall. I couldn't quite see because we were just a little bit ahead. So, do you know what happened there?
Yeah. So I don't know who it was in P1, but he was out of tires obviously and was doing burnouts off the line. So I went underneath him, and when I'm coming back up the track from where it's flat and it comes onto the banking, it's sort of hard to know where the car's going to go. And I just sort of clipped Matt. Not his fault at all. It's just we bumped together and I ended up in the wall, but the car was mostly fine. Just a little bit of damage. It was fine to keep driving.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, congratulations on your third place, and yeah, shout out to all of your teams, sponsors, friends, family, whoever you want to have a shout out to.
Yeah, just thanks to Shane and Manny for turning up at whatever godly hour it is over there to do it with me. And regards on behalf of Shane, he had to run. Sorry, couldn't hang around. He had to go do real world things. But yeah, thanks for having us.
Nah, not a problem at all. Hopefully we'll see you Friday night for the truck series, and also congratulations on your win in the qualifying series on Sunday night too.
Thanks for that, mate. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Look forward to it.
Nah, that was Brad. There's Brad Newman.
Another evening of racing in the books. Oh, I don't hear a Nigel anymore, and I don't think a Nigel hears me. He's already jumped down. But yeah, that's another night in the books here for the Australian NASCAR eSeries. Now, Shane Van Gisbergen winning the race over Matt Danson and Brad Newman. Now, we've got another action-packed night of racing this Friday with the Truck Series. We'll be heading over to sorry, just take a sip of a drink. We'll be heading over to Atlanta for 128 laps for that. So it's a very nice, tight super speedway. Going to see a lot of close racing. So if you think tonight's race was anywhere near as breathtaking, then you should hang around for this weekend's race in the Truck Series. That's going to be an epic showdown. I know we're going to pull quite a bit of crowd. That's going to be the third last race of the regular season before we move into Rockingham and then Bristol. So it's going to get tight towards the end. We're going to get the playoffs real soon, and we're going to have a lot of action-packed racing to come. Now, that's all for the broadcast here tonight. I've been Bryce Meddings. I was joined by Nigel Siddle. He's currently out, so he can't say goodbye, but we will all talk to you on Friday night.